Hey guys, welcome back to Mind Your Conversions, brought to you by Fibr. If you're new here, this is where we break down the art and science of marketing with our hosts, Liv and Max. They will help you understand marketing better, explore fresh strategies, and most importantly, drive higher conversions. So whether you're a seasoned pro, or even if you're just getting started, you're at the right place.
Welcome to our deep dive, and today we're going to get into A/B testing. And we've got a great source. Top 29 A/B testing examples you need to check out.
Oh yeah, some really good stuff in here.
For people who might not know, A/B testing, what we're really talking about is comparing two versions of something to see which one works better, right?
Right.
So if you've got a website or an app or marketing, you are doing A/B testing, whether you realize it or not.
You should be.
You should be, right?
Yeah.
So there's some really wild stuff in here. Like right off the bat, there's this travel company that saw 104% jump just by changing the wording on their button.
Wow.
104%. That's wild.
I mean, what did they change it to? Book now.
I don't know. We'll have to look and see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's insane.
So it's not just about, throwing spaghetti at the wall. You got to actually understand user psychology.
Right.
And then use the data to make good decisions.
Well, and that's what A/B testing is, right? It's like it gives you a roadmap instead of just saying, like, I think people are going to like this better.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, you actually look at what people respond to.
That's it.
So, what are some of the takeaways that you found as you were going through this?
One of the biggest takeaways is that small changes can yield massive results.
Yeah.
Like, look at fsastore.com. They simplified their website navigation, and they saw their revenue per visitor increase by 53.8%.
That's huge.
For just simplifying navigation.
I mean, think about how many times you've left a website because you couldn't find what you were looking for.
All the time.
It's like, oh, this is too frustrating.
Absolutely. Frustration leads to abandoned carts and missed opportunities.
Totally.
So FSA Store, they recognized that. They streamlined the user journey. They made it effortless for the customer to get where they want to go.
So you don't have to do this whole massive website redesign.
Right.
It's about pinpointing those little pain points and being like, how do we fix those?
Yeah, Christopher Clues. They increased conversions by 15.38%. Just by changing the tone of their pop-up from, your typical salesy pitch to a conversational tone.
Ah, so it's not just what you say, but how you say it?
It's not just what you say, but how you say it.
That human element.
Yeah, the human touch goes a long way.
It's like, are you coming across as a robot?
Right.
Or are you coming across as a person?
Are you talking down to them, or are you talking with them?
Right.
So I'd encourage you to think about, what's the tone of your online interactions?
Yeah.
Have you considered how even subtle shifts in wording might impact user engagement?
That's a good question.
It is.
And I think that, that plays into this idea of, almost like psychology, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're getting into, okay, how do people actually think and respond?
It's all psychology.
And then how do we sort of, use that to improve things?
Exactly. So Avon, the beauty giant, they saw a 96.63% increase in conversions on their makeup page just by personalizing product recommendations based on eye color.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's huge, right?
It's wild.
Just based on eye color.
So is the takeaway then that everything has to be super personalized?
Not necessarily.
Right.
But it does show the power of even small steps towards personalization.
Right.
Think about it. Wouldn't you be more likely to engage with a website that seems to understand your needs and preferences?
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's about creating that feeling of being understood and valued.
Yeah.
So what are some data points you could gather to make your user experience more personal?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be complex. Even something as simple as asking a user what their style preferences are can go a long way.
I like that. So it's not just for big companies with these crazy algorithms.
Yeah.
There are things that anyone can do.
There are things that anyone can do. Absolutely.
So what else we got?
Well, let's talk about urgency and incentives. Avi, they're a wellness brand. They saw a 25.17% conversion lift just by adding a countdown timer to their cart abandonment pop-up.
I feel like I see countdown timers everywhere. Do those actually work?
We do. It's called scarcity.
Ah, okay.
So you're introducing a time constraint, right? And it taps into our innate fear of missing out.
Yeah, okay.
So it prompts us to take action.
So it's like that whole limited time offer thing.
Exactly.
But digital.
Exactly.
I like it.
And speaking of persuasion, NewFace, a skincare company, they experience a 90% surge in orders
Yeah.
just by offering free shipping.
Okay, free shipping, that's gotta be huge.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Because it removes, think about it, it removes that barrier to purchase.
Right.
So now, instead of thinking, okay, well, I got to pay for the product and shipping, it's just, oh, well, it's just the product.
That's just the product, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for free shipping.
We all are.
It's like, it gets me every time.
It gets us every time.
Yeah. So it's not just about like a discount or a sale or something like that. It's understanding like what is the thing?
What motivates your target audience?
What is the thing that's going to get people?
Exactly. So what would they find most appealing? What would nudge them to take that desired action? These are the questions that we need to ask.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's what A/B testing can help you with.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we've talked about small changes. We've talked about personalization. We've talked about urgency and incentives. What else have you got in there?
Well, Beckett Simon, they're a footwear brand. They boosted sales by 5% just by adding a storytelling panel to their website.
Oh, so like instead of just like, here are the features and benefits.
Exactly.
You're actually trying to tell a story.
You're telling a story.
Okay.
They were talking about their commitment to sustainability and craftsmanship. They're sharing the story behind the brand.
Oh, I always like that.
And the values they embody.
Because it's like, I can buy shoes anywhere, right? But if I feel like a connection, right,
That I'm going to choose you.
you're going to choose them over the competitor.
Because I like your story better.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So think about the stories behind your own brand or product. What makes you unique? What are your core values?
I like that.
And how can you share those in a way that resonates with your target audience?
So it's not just numbers. It's like,
It's not just numbers.
it's human.
It's human. It's emotional.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot.
And that brings us to visual impact. Remember mall.cz,
Yeah.
the e-commerce platform?
Mhm.
They saw a 9.46% sales increase just by using larger product images.
It seems so basic, but I guess it makes sense.
It does.
Like we're visual creatures, right?
We are. So when
Exactly.
we see something that's appealing, it captures our attention.
Yeah.
It conveys information quickly.
Okay.
So think about your own website. Are the visuals you're using impactful and engaging?
That's a good question.
Do they tell a story?
I like it.
Do they make people want to learn more? Okay, so before we move on to even more A/B testing brilliance, let's talk about addressing user concerns, because I think that's a big one.
It is.
There's this example in here from Shaw Academy,
Yeah.
where they had a 5x increase in sales just by adding a simple message on their billing page to address user doubts about trial billing.
Exactly.
So it's not just about like, here's the offer. It's like, okay, but what are the objections people are going to have?
What are those potential objections?
What are they scared of?
And how can you alleviate those fears?
Okay.
Right.
So it's like you're anticipating what those roadblocks might be
Right.
and just being like, no, we got you.
We got you. It's fine.
Like, it's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Transparency and trust are crucial,
Yeah, for sure.
especially when you're asking people to give you their payment information.
Yeah, totally.
So by addressing those potential concerns, you're building confidence. And you're making it easier for people to take that next step.
Oh, that's good. This is giving me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Every little detail matters.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
That's cool.
And that's the beauty of A/B testing, right?
Yeah.
It's a continuous process of learning and optimizing,
Yeah.
always striving for those incremental improvements
Yeah, I like it.
that add up to significant results.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. We've got a lot more to go over, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And the thing is, you don't have to be like a data scientist. You don't have to have a massive budget. There's tons of user-friendly tools out there.
Right. This isn't just for, like, the big players anymore.
No.
This is accessible to anyone.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what else is in there? What other, like, simple tweaks?
Oh, well, let's see. Campaign Monitor. They boosted trial signups by over 30% just by using dynamic text replacement.
Dynamic text replacement, what is that?
Okay, so it's where you can personalize the content of the landing page based on the user's search query. So say someone searches for, like, design emails. The headline on your landing page could dynamically change to design stunning emails.
Oh, so it's like you're meeting them where they are?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it goes beyond just headlines. You can use it in your website copy, your email subject lines, even social media ads.
I like that.
It's a simple but powerful way to personalize the user experience at scale.
Cool. Cool. So we've talked about personalization. We've talked about the visuals. HubSpot Academy, they had this thing where they used colorful imagery and a dynamic headline, and it led to a 6% increase in signups.
Right.
So it's like they were combining those two.
They were thinking holistically about their A/B testing strategy.
Right.
Right. It's not just about individual tactics, but it's how those tactics work together to create a seamless experience.
So it's like almost like a 1-2 punch kind of thing.
It is. And, it makes you wonder, would adding subtle animations bump up those numbers even higher?
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know. Have you seen any of that in here?
Yeah. But I think, it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Right.
What works for one company might not work for another. The real takeaway is you need to experiment and see what works for your audience.
That's good. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Green. They're a Polish company. They sell agricultural goods. They doubled purchases simply by redesigning their mini cart.
Yeah.
Doubling. That's huge.
Huge.
What was wrong with their mini cart?
So, a couple of design flaws. So, users were misinterpreting the free delivery banner as a button.
Oh.
And then the go to cart button was tiny and tucked away in a corner.
Oh, so it was just like bad design.
Bad design leading to frustration.
Leading to frustration, abandoned carts.
Okay.
So they made those elements more prominent and intuitive, and boom.
Boom, conversion.
Conversion soared.
Okay.
It's not about flashy features. It's about making sure every element on your site is optimized.
Okay, every little detail matters.
Every little detail matters. So the travel company that saw a 104% increase with their button, they also had this test on their pricing page where they ended up doubling their sales.
Doubling, yeah.
What was wrong with their pricing?
So it was too complicated. So they tied specific features to different payment tiers.
Oh.
Which created overwhelm and choice paralysis for potential customers.
Okay.
They simplified it. They offered full features across all plans. So now it's easy for customers to choose the option that fit their budget.
Oh, so it's just like
clarity and value.
Value, yeah.
So make it easy for customers to understand what they're getting and why they should choose you.
Okay. And sometimes that means just simplifying.
Simplifying, yes.
Okay. So what about user-generated content? Have you seen any examples of that?
Yeah. Under Outfit, they saw a significant boost in their ad performance by incorporating user-generated videos in their Facebook campaigns.
Oh, I like that because that's really authentic.
It is, yeah.
People they're savvy. They can tell when it's just a generic ad.
Exactly.
But when it's a real person.
A real person?
That hits different.
It hits different. It's that social proof.
The social proof, I like it.
People are more likely to trust recommendations from their peers than they are from a polished marketing message.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so what about clarity, conciseness, and messaging?
Oh, yeah. Well, CSA Creative, they're a digital agency. They boosted their click-through rates by over 8%. Just by changing their homepage tagline to be more specific and engaging.
Oh, so they went from vague to specific.
Vague to specific, yes.
What was their original tagline?
It was something along the lines of, we help businesses grow.
Okay. Which isn't bad, but it's
not bad, but it's not great.
It's not
it's not specific.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a hook.
Yeah.
Right.
So they went from a whisper to a shout.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, landing pages. Have you seen any good landing page examples?
Oh, yeah. Tech Insurance, they saw a 73% increase in conversions simply by creating a dedicated landing page for their PPC campaigns.
So instead of sending all the traffic to their generic homepage, they're like, no, we're going to send them to a page.
A dedicated page.
That's just for this.
That's just for this, yeah.
Okay.
So when someone clicks on an ad, they have a specific expectation in mind, right?
Right, yeah.
If they land on a generic page that doesn't align with that expectation, they're likely to bounce.
Yeah. You got to meet people where they are.
You got to meet them where they are. Yeah. So a dedicated landing page ensures a seamless and relevant experience.
Okay, I like that.
Guides them towards that desired action.
So we talked about Beckett-Simon and how they did storytelling. Are there any other examples of companies using storytelling effectively in their A/B testing?
Oh, absolutely. Remember mall.cz?
Yeah.
The company that increased sales by using larger product images.
Yeah.
They also experimented with storytelling by incorporating customer reviews.
Oh, so it's not just bigger images.
Not just bigger images.
But also stories.
Exactly.
I like that.
And they saw a significant increase in conversions on products that had those customer stories.
It's almost like they're saying, hey, don't just take our word for it. Listen to what other people have said.
Exactly.
Okay. Zalora, they're a fashion e-commerce site. They boosted their checkout rate by over 12% simply by redesigning their product pages and emphasizing key features like free returns and delivery.
Right. It's all about removing friction.
Okay.
And reassuring those customers.
So it's like you're hitting those
pain points.
pain points, yeah.
Those hesitations.
Like, will this fit?
Will it fit?
What if I want to return it?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Okay. So sometimes it's about adding elements, sometimes it's about simplifying. What about just the power of words themselves?
Oh, it's huge. So Laxell, they sell sweat reduction products.
Yeah.
They saw a 93% increase in conversions just by changing their landing page headline to be more action-oriented.
93%.
93.
Just from the headline.
Just from the headline.
What was the original headline?
So the original was a little passive. It was something like, discover the solution to excessive sweating.
Okay, which isn't bad.
It's not bad.
But it's not great.
Yeah, it doesn't have that, like, oomph.
Yeah, it doesn't have that oomph.
Yeah.
So they changed it to something like, stop sweating now.
Okay, so they went from, like, a suggestion
like a command.
through command, yeah.
Okay.
So they went from describing the problem to offering an immediate solution.
Oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
that's a good distinction.
It is.
Okay, so the words matter.
The words matter.
Yeah, it's not just like what you say, but how you say it.
How you say it.
Okay, cool. So going back to pricing for a second, Codecademy, they increased their annual plan subscriptions by 28% by optimizing their pricing page layout.
Okay.
So they didn't actually change the prices.
No, they didn't change the prices. They just changed how they were presented.
How they were presented.
Right.
So they focused on highlighting the savings in dollar amounts rather than percentages.
Okay.
Because people respond more strongly to those concrete dollar savings.
Right, because if you say save 20%,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, how much is that?
Exactly.
But if you say save $50,
Save $50, that's like...
very tangible.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Okay. Okay. Free shipping. We talked about this earlier, but NewPhase saw a 90% increase in orders just by offering free shipping.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. And it just speaks to like the psychology of online shopping.
Yeah.
People want a good deal.
Okay.
And free shipping just feels like that little bonus.
That little bonus.
That makes it worthwhile.
Okay. PayU, they're a fintech firm. They had a 5.8% increase in conversions just by eliminating the email address field from their checkout form and only asking for a mobile number.
Wow, bold move.
That's a bold move.
It is.
Like, why?
Well, they found that in their specific market, mobile numbers were a more reliable form of communication
Okay.
and identification.
So it wasn't like a universal thing.
No, it was very specific to their audience.
Okay.
And by streamlining that form, they were able to reduce friction,
Okay.
make the checkout process faster.
So less is more.
Less is more.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Groove, they're a help desk software company. They had a 100% increase in conversions just by adding a video testimonial to their homepage.
100%.
100%, that's doubling.
That's doubling.
Just from adding a video.
It's the power of video.
Video is powerful.
Video is powerful, people. It's easier to connect with than text.
Yeah, you can get the emotion. You
can
can
see the emotion. You can hear the emotion.
Yeah. A lot more engaging.
Okay. Shop Clues. They're an e-commerce company. They saw a 26% increase just by repositioning their wholesale section and highlighting other marketing categories.
Interesting.
So it's like they decluttered it.
Decluttered.
And that helped.
It did. It helped people find what they were looking for.
Right.
It's all about understanding user behavior.
Yeah.
And making it easy for them to find what they're looking for.
So kind of like, Shaw Academy, where they were addressing those user concerns.
Exactly.
It's like you're removing roadblocks.
Removing roadblocks, exactly.
Cool. So these are all great examples, but I think it's important to remember what works for one company might not work for another.
Absolutely. There's no magic formula.
Yeah.
Right? The real magic is in the data.
The data.
And the insights you gather from those tests.
Yeah.
So, with the right approach and a willingness to experiment, you can unlock incredible results. It's crazy how many companies are like stuck in their ways, like they're clinging to these outdated best practices without ever questioning whether they actually work.
Yeah.
Like First Midwest Bank, they saw a 195% increase in conversions.
Whoa.
By making some like bold changes to their website. That went against conventional wisdom.
Okay, now I'm interested in a bank doing something revolutionary
I know.
in A/B testing.
So they incorporated human imagery that was tailored to the demographics of specific states.
Oh, so like not just like stock photos,
No,
like
yeah.
real people.
Real people, yeah.
Okay.
And then they did something even more daring. They put their sign-up forms below the fold.
Below the fold, isn't that like a no-no?
It is.
I thought you always had to have like the important stuff
Above the fold.
right at the top.
Above the fold, yeah.
So they broke the rules.
They broke the rules, and it paid off. So by focusing on creating a more engaging experience above the fold, they actually drew visitors further down the page
That's interesting.
where those forms were waiting.
Okay, sometimes breaking the rules
Breaking the rule.
leads to breakthroughs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it brings us to another important concept, visual hierarchy. WorkZone, a project management software company, they boosted form submissions by 34% just by changing the color of their testimonial logos. From color to black and white.
Okay, so they toned it down
It toned it down.
to make the form stand out more.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's all about guiding the user's eye to where you want them to focus.
Oh, that's good.
In this case, those colored logos were creating visual clutter, competing for attention with the form.
Oh, okay.
So by making them black and white, they receded into the background.
Okay, so it's like you're set.
You're prioritizing.
Yes, you're prioritizing.
You're prioritizing.
Okay.
You're telling where to look.
That's good. Okay.
And speaking of influencing perception, Thrive Themes, they specialize in website themes and plugins. They saw a 13% increase in sales just by adding customer testimonials to their landing page.
Oh, it's social proofs again.
Social proof,
It's like people want to know that other people have had a good experience before they're willing to kind of jump in.
Especially if it's something new, right?
Yeah.
Like, are other people using this?
Yeah.
Is it legit?
Okay, so testimonials.
Testimonials.
They're powerful.
They are.
Okay. So what about the call to action button? Like, how important is that?
Oh, it's huge. Performable, a marketing software company, they saw a 21% increase in click-through rates simply by changing their button color from green to red.
Red. I thought green was like go.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, the red button just stood out more
Yeah.
against the background of the page.
Okay, so it's not about like what the color means.
No.
It's about like how it contrasts.
Contrast and attention.
Attention. Okay.
Yeah, so it created a sense of urgency that motivated people to click.
I like it.
So what color are your buttons?
That's a good question.
Right. Maybe it's time to experiment with something a little bolder.
Okay. Email marketing. Have you seen any good email examples in here?
Oh yeah, HubSpot. They found that left-aligned text performed worse than centered text when it came to click-through rates on their weekly emails.
That's interesting because I thought left aligned was supposed to be easier to read.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
But again, it just goes to show.
Yeah.
You got to test
Okay.
because every audience is different.
So what works for one?
Might not work for another.
Right.
So don't be afraid to experiment.
It's a good takeaway.
It is A/B testing.
Yeah.
It empowers you to make data-driven decisions,
Okay.
to continuously optimize your website, your marketing,
That's good.
and ultimately your business.
I feel like we've covered a lot of ground today. This has been really eye-opening.
It has.
So I guess the question for our listeners is, what one element on your website or in your marketing could you A/B test to improve conversions? Pick one thing and experiment.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
That's a great way to end it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into A/B testing.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy testing.
Thanks for tuning in. That's it for this episode of Mind Your Conversions, brought to you by Fibr. I hope you are leaving with fresh ideas and strategies to take your marketing and your conversions to the next level. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Thanks for listening. Until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.